What's going on, guys? This is Moonchild of DudeNoWay, and today we are covering what I believe to be the best build and most competitive loadout for a hunter post Beyond Light. The meta has had some time to settle, the numbers for abilities and weapons have been crunched, and after testing a bunch of different things, I'm confident this setup is the best hunter you can possibly make right now. But before we get down to business, I wanted to thank everyone who watches my channel for over 600 views on my previous 2 videos. You guys are crushing it, and I appreciate all the support. If you haven't already, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button to help me get to my first 100 subs, and hit the bell because I'm out here every week with a brand new video just like this for your sub box. So, we're running Revenant because the aspect and fragment system allows for so much power and versatility that the light-based subclasses, at least as far as Hunter is concerned, just can't keep up. Being able to slot active utility in and out on the fly is just too strong to overlook, and some of these effects are actually insane. The reason this is the best Hunter in the game, just like Behemoth Titans, is the movement. Stasis adds an additional tool to your kit, and it's granted by the first aspect, Shatter Dive, which allows you to rapidly descend while in midair to shatter stasis crystals around you. This has become the meme of Beyond Light, because using this combined with the Glacial Grenade is one of the most obviously broken mechanics we've ever seen in the game. You can use this both offensively to secure a kill, as well as defensively to force yourself to the ground if you get caught out of position. And you should be utilizing this as much as possible, because beyond the shatter damage, the ability to quickly reposition is the real power of this aspect coming into play. Hunters are already the most mobile class in the game, and now you have another option to quickly navigate the map. Without any stasis crystals nearby, Shatter Dive on its own deals 50 damage, and when targets are low health, you can quickly use this to finish them off. Don't sleep on the ability to quickly change your position mid-air. Using this properly, when you come face to face with a sniper glint, is going to save your life. Being able to work this into your mobility game is going to separate the top tier players from the rest of the pack, so give yourself an advantage and start getting used to it now. The radius and damage from blowing up a stasis crystal is already large, but when you slot the fragment Whisper of Fissures, this kind of gets out of control. The fragment increases the size of the shatter explosions even further, and in my opinion is part of what makes this combination so widely disliked by the community. With Whisper of Fissures on, you're going to start seeing a lot, and I mean a lot, of multi-kills. It's just so easy. You jump over someone's head, toss the grenade underneath you, and dive into it. Boom, 3 kills. Is it balanced? Absolutely not. But is it fun? As long as you're the one shattering, it's crazy fun. You can run around the map knowing you have a one-hit ability in your back pocket for any time you need to win a 1v1 or you catch a group of enemies huddled together. And the multi-kills don't stop there, because next, you have the melee ability Withering Blade. You throw this shuriken at targets to damage and slow them, and you can use this to quickly finish off a target you got low health. You can do this even if they duck behind cover, because the shuriken will ricochet multiple times, and you should be keeping that functionality in mind in-game. Toss it at a wall and watch it bounce towards your enemy to confirm the kill. Another thing to keep in mind is that these are capable of precision damage, so do your best to aim for the head. On its own, this melee is really good, probably top tier for Hunter melees, but what makes it nuts is that it has 2 charges, and this is where the potential for multi-kills comes in. When you hit a target with 2 of these, rapid fire, you instantly freeze them, and they remain frozen for 4.5 seconds, which gives you ample opportunity to kill them. The reason this is so powerful is that blowing up a frozen target deals damage to everyone around them, and that damage is buffed by Whisper of Fissures. This means that any enemy that's close to the guy you froze is blowing up too. And let's not forget, this melee ability ricochets. If you fire 2 of these into a group of enemies, like when they're trying to cap a flag, your shurikens are going to bounce between them, possibly freezing 2 or 3 guys. It takes 10 stacks of the slowed debuff to freeze a target, and this melee applies 6 stacks. This pairs perfectly with the second aspect, Winter's Shroud, which slows people around you when you activate your dodge. Winter's Shroud applies 4 stacks of slowed, so you can use these 2 abilities back to back to freeze a target. This is great for sticky situations when you're surrounded or an enemy is approaching you from behind. You can dodge out of the way, immediately toss your shuriken, and then blow them up for an easy kill. And when you do this, you activate the second fragment for this build, Whisper of Hedrons. Hedrons gives a hefty 25% damage bonus after you shatter a frozen target, and this lasts for 10 seconds. For a lot of weapons in the game, this adds a ton of forgiveness, allowing them to hit body shots instead of headshots and still maintain their time to kill. Shotguns, like FELWINTER'S or the Seraph CQC, will absolutely map people with this buff up. But the archetype of weapon this helps the most is the newly buffed 120 RPM hand cannons, because with Whisper of Hedron's damage bonus, you're now hitting 113 per headshot, which is absolutely nuts. With the hand cannon range buff in Beyond Light, these hand cannons are now hitting from nearly scout rifle ranges, stretching all the way out to 50 meters with the best rolled weapons. While I love Sturm, The legendary 120s have the potential to be even more potent, and that's why for this build I'm running a True Prophecy with Rangefinder and Demolitionist. This isn't a max range roll, but because of Rangefinder I'm still able to hit shots consistently for full damage up to 47 meters out. After the buffs, this archetype of hand cannon feels amazing. They feel sticky, they hit like a truck, and they can roll with Demolitionist, which gives us grenade energy back every time we get a kill and allows us to abuse the potency of Shatter Dive more often. These are, without a doubt, the best weapon you can use with this setup, and if you've never used them before or you're used to the faster firing archetypes, you're probably going to have an adjustment period as you get used to the weapon's kick and the 120 style recoil pattern. It's a little jarring when you first start, but stick it out. The 2 taps are abundant. You're going to be freezing people and taking advantage of this all game long before you know it. To further this gameplay loop, you're going to want to masterwork the weapon, and then equip the mods Taking Charge and High Energy Fire. Taking Charge gives you Charged with Light when you pick up an Orb of Power, and High Energy Fire gives you a solid 20% damage boost that lasts until you get a kill with your weapon. This lets you hit crispy 108 headshots, and 2 of those is enough to kill any Guardian all the way past 10 Resilience. No one is safe. Masterworking the hand cannon causes double kills with it to spawn an Orb of Power, so if you're playing your primary game strong, you're going to have multiple opportunities every game to get this rolling. The fact that it lasts until you get a kill allows you a unique style of gameplay where instead of aiming to confirm the kill on a target, you can easily chunk more than half their life away with a single shot, and then leave them for your teammates to clean up. This sounds dumb, but it's actually wildly effective in-game. You take the initial shot, and it's basically guaranteed that someone is going to take them out from there. You get the kill credit, and you also get to keep your buff active for the next engagement. Again, this doesn't sound like it should be good, but you and a buddy can really stomp out the enemy team if you're engaging the same targets. Give it a shot. The artifact this season gives us multiple ways to buff the effectiveness of our hand cannon, and I recommend taking advantage of all of them. Equip double hand cannon targeting on your helmet because clean, consistent headshots are key with this build. Put on double unflinching hand cannon aim on your chest to keep your shot on point when you're getting shot back. 120 RPM hand cannons in general have terrible reload speeds, so put hand cannon loader on your gloves to combat that. I also run marksman dodge for the ability to quickly reload on the fly. Having the utility to reload from dodging allows us to better take advantage of the damage window granted by Whisper of Hedrons because we know there'll be shots in the mag when we need them. For our special weapon, the best and most obvious choice is the FELWINTER'S Lie because it's the best shotgun in the game. But if you don't have FELWINTER, your next best option is going to be the Seraph CQC shotgun, and if you're going the CQC route, make sure your roll has quick draw as it's basically essential to fast gameplay, and look for range boosting perks like rifled barrel and accurized rounds. Full bore is also a top barrel perk because it tightens your pellet spread when aiming down sights, which extends the one-hit kill distance similarly to rifled barrel, but without tanking your handling stat. For our heavy, I'm going with the Behringer's Memory Grenade Launcher because it has Demolitionist, which again allows us to take advantage of Shatter Dive even more often. This can be swapped out for simpler point-and-click options like Wordcliff Coil, Truth, or Eyes of Tomorrow from the raid. All of these are great options for heavy, but none of them have Demolitionist, so pick your poison here, but keep in mind that more grenades equals more free kills. The exotic armor piece we're rolling with is the Stompies because movement is the thing that makes hunters as powerful as they are. When you combine these boots with Strafe Jump, you legitimately have some of the fastest movement in the entire game. You can use this to close gaps and cover ground extremely quickly, and if you get caught too high in the air, now you can shatter dive your way back to cover if you need to. Hunters can bonk their head on low ceilings to gain forward momentum, and the amount you get with Stompies on is insane. You're also getting a longer slide distance, which makes shotgunning a breeze. You can use your jump to change the direction you're moving mid-gunfight, and doing this will often throw a lot of people off because they'll have to actively change where they were aiming at to shoot you. You'll notice I'm not running an exotic with this build, and the reason for that is the aerial playstyle and the power of the Icarus mod. You're going to spend a ton of time in the air, and being able to consistently hit your shots is paramount, which means you need to slot Icarus in your weapons. Sadly, this takes the exotic primary options completely off the table. They can't get Icarus, so they don't get used. If you're playing for fun, it's one thing, but for my money, if I want to win that game, 100% of the time I'm using a legendary primary. Icarus is the sole reason for that. Other notable mods in this setup are Powerful Friends, which gives a plus 20 mobility when slotted with another arc mod, Radiant Light, which gives plus 20 strength, Shotgun Scavenger, and Outreach for that extra melee energy every time we dodge. Our stat split should have a 9 or 10 recovery, 5 resilience, which I'm just shy of, but counters a lot of effects like being 2-tapped by a buffed Thorn. and as high as we can get on our mobility, discipline, and strength. Powerful Friends and Radiant Light are going to give us large bonuses, and the more we can get of each of these, the more we're going to be able to spam our abilities for gigantic multi-kills. When you put all of these things together, what you come out with is the best hunter we've ever seen in Destiny's history. It really has a skill ceiling all its own. You can cover insane ground by jumping, reposition mid-air, force descent, you can dodge. There's a full suite of movement capabilities at your fingertips. No other class has this. Warlocks and Titans can only dream of being able to do all the things a Revenant can pull off. Both your melee and your grenade lead to insane multi-kills. Your dodge can lead to a freeze, and shattering a frozen target or picking up an orb of power makes your hand cannon two-shot people in the head. Silence and Squall can easily drop a group of enemies and instantly activates the damage buff from Whisper of Hedrons if you use it right. This is the build I will be rolling with when I put my try-hard pants on, and I highly recommend you give it a shot. Thanks for watching. I am Moonchild of DudeNoWay, and I will see you in the next video.